Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, in our time, as we build an America that is more prosperous, free, and just, that is the work of my presidency. But first, we must be honest with each other and with ourselves. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal.
Chinese spy balloon that traveled across the country for several days was able to gather intelligence passing over sensitive American military sites.
My representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Koh, the fucking spy chief of China.
Among the new findings, China steered the balloon in a figure-8 pattern at times and collected electronic signals detected from U.S. bases and weapon systems.
Who was my partner? He was missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment.
The balloon had a remote self-destruct mechanism. Sources say it's unclear if that failed or China did not use it.
Who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded and is now missing. The richest man in the world is missing.
It had a propeller, it had a rudder, it had the ability to speed up and slow down, turn. It had maneuverability.
And signed a $4 billion deal to build the fucking largest fucking LNG port in the world.
The balloon was able to send back intelligence to Beijing in real time.
And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Devin, has named me as a witness without telling me in a criminal case, and my father without telling me.
On this bus. This is a Border Patrol street release here at Iris Avenue Transit Center. There's the NGO right there, Immigrant Defenders Law Center.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers. Now a damning new report blames the Biden administration for being slow to evacuate U.S. citizens and Afghan allies, according to an Army investigation first obtained by the Washington Post.
Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia.
The Biden administration is coming under heavy fire for its prisoner exchange of WNBA star Brittany Griner for Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout. While critics are happy Griner is on her way home, they are not pleased a man called the Merchant of Death is free. He was originally arrested in 2008 and extradited to the U.S. in 2010. The same time, a former DEA chief described him like this.
Viktor Bout, in my eyes, is one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
In 2011, Bout was convicted of conspiring to kill Americans and conspiring to provide material support to a terrorist organization. Bout agreed to sell a Colombian terrorist organization surface-to-air missiles, 30,000 AK-47s, tens of millions of rounds of ammunition, C-4, and lightweight planes outfitted with grenade launchers. According to Politico, senior officials at the Pentagon are concerned Bout will go back to doing the same type of work he's done in the past.
Terrorists and rogue states all around the world will take note of this, and it endangers other Americans in the future who can be grabbed and used as bargaining chips.
Hello.
Добрый день.
Good to see you again.
Приветствую вас, господин президент.
It was a rare 2-hour face-to-face with an urgent agenda to talk Russia out of invading a U.S. ally.
To protect all Americans.
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Okay.
those who say the blood of patriots, you know, and all the stuff about how we're going to have to move against the government. Well, the tree of liberty is not water with the blood of patriots. What's happened is that there never been, if you want to think you need to have weapons to take on the government, you need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. I'm announcing that the Department of Labor is developing an emergency rule to require all employers with 100 or more employees that together employ over 80 million workers to ensure their workforces are fully vaccinated.
Hey, pals, Dad, it's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And
we've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin. And your refusal has cost all of us.
Joe, they're calling you a corrupt politician.
Very clear. There are 50 former national intelligence folks who said that what he's accusing me of is a Russian plant. They have said that this has all the five former heads of the CIA, both parties, say what he's saying is a bunch of garbage. Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
You mean the laptop is now another Russia hoax?
That's exactly what.
You just said that Iran was not going to do this for nothing, but didn't they also get 5 Iranians?
They will get 5 Iranians as well. Yeah, Jackie.
Then why did we need to add $6 billion on top of that?
This is the deal that we were able to strike to secure the release of 5 Americans. It would be great, wonderful, if we could just pick up the phone and call the mullahs and say, hey, we want our Americans back, send them back on the next plane. But you and I both know that's not going to happen.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Is that all of this is happening on the anniversary of Mahsa's death last year, and it could be very deflating for the Iranian people to see that the leading country in the world and its administration are willing to actually slap them in the face and reward hostage takers to begin with.
So many people have remarked about this that President Biden agreed to this on September 11th, agreeing to open up this money flow to arguably what many people say is the largest sponsor of terrorism. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely, and that's the reason why so many freedom-fighting Iranians wonder that if there are assets that are frozen as a result of further sanctions, let's say if tomorrow the IRGC is placed on the terrorist list, and more assets that ultimately, let's not forget, this is the money, the people of Iran's money, and they could in fact repurpose such frozen assets towards supporting the Iranian people if there is a policy of the maximum support, and for instance support labor strikes in Iran. If you talk about humanitarian aid, do it directly. Why give it to a regime that is murdering its people in Iran and continuing its raising havoc in the region and beyond?
Real income, when you account for inflation, is actually down since you took office. Economic growth last week, far short of expectations. Consumer confidence, maybe no surprise, is near a 2-year low.
That, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics.
5% increase. Auto insurance up 33%. Used cars up 35%. Hotels up 15%. Groceries. This matters. Up 25%. And this is a big one. You need $11,434 additional just to maintain the same living standard that you had in 2021.
And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
I mean, but there's real pain. I mean, grocery prices are up 30%, more than 30%. Since the beginning of the pandemic, and people are spending more on food and groceries than they have at any time really in the past 30 years. I mean, that's a real day-to-day pain that people feel.
It really is, and it's real. But the fact is that
If you take a look at what the people have, they have the money to spend.
And we are very proud of Biden now.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. I will sign an executive order that will now require all executive branch federal employees to be vaccinated. All. Representing extremism. I love my right-wing friends who talk about the tree of liberty is water with the blood of patriots. This is not about freedom or personal choice. Work about taking on the federal government. You need some F-15s. You don't need an AR-15. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. This is not about freedom or personal choice. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. My job as president is to protect all Americans. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans.
Egypt, huh? Okay, where in America? Cairo. Are you going to New York or Chicago? Boston? Boston, okay.
My job as president is to protect all Americans.
All men, though? No family? No wives? Kids? No, all by yourself.
With the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare.
We, the people.
But you can't find money for us. Right. Do you all realize that CTU has it in their contract that is up for negotiations this year, where they're going to be giving more money to migrants than they're going to be giving to support our teachers? In what world is that okay? You want to give migrant kids $2,000 a month for a stipend in your contract? What about the rest of the kids who are hungry and suffering here in Chicago? Do you not think that it is just migrant kids who are suffering, who are not able to eat, who are dealing with homelessness? Of course it's not. I say all this to say, people, Democrats, you're on the menu this election. Black America, wake up and pay attention. Supporting Trump does not make you racist. It does not demonize you. What it does do is says to the Democratic Party, y'all not going to keep playing with us. You're not going to keep taking us for granted. You're not going to continue to disregard the importance of our vote. So we're saying here today,